Okay guys, it is March and me and Spencer are starting to get some of this equipment serviced here. So Spencer got the oil changed on the 8110 and we got that hooked up to the sprayer. Spencer's getting the 8R oil change right now, filters changed, and then we're actually going to add in a Green Star rate controller into that sprayer here because I bought one last spring, I just didn't get it installed, so Bryce, my neighbor, is going to help me kind of get that controller in there. So it should be nice to run all of our sprayer off the rate controller there. Kind of just getting things serviced, getting things organized here.
These are the two fuel filters on the tractor. Right when Grant bought it, it plugged up first time running it in the field, so it's good to change it every so often. Looks pretty dirty. Here's the cartridge part of it, so that looks pretty dirty. A little over 300 hours we put on that filter there. Then there's a new one. Nicer on this tractor to change the fuel filters because you can just turn the key. The other one, sometimes you'll get air in the system. Where we installed the water line, Grant's backfilling some of it now that it's settled. So he's trying to fill that back in. We got a little bit of rock left over, knowing that we'd need to do a bit of grading. It's kind of nice here. We blow this out, these flip out of the way. Looks like maybe some mice have gotten in here. Nothing terrible.
Okay guys, so we got something pretty cool here which I wanted to film. Thomas and Mason, they came down from Northwest Iowa. They're with Cab Tech. They basically started this company that installs an aftermarket radio that has CarPlay in an older like 8000 series tractor. So we're gonna put this new radio in the 8110. It's got a bunch of other features. The thing I'm most excited about is CarPlay, but their story's pretty cool because they started this company just a couple months ago and started making these aftermarket radios.
It's a little touchscreen Jensen radio. We do all the harnessing, so it's just completely plug and play. It takes about 15 minutes or less to install. And it's got CarPlay, Android Auto, your regular AM, FM radio. And then we also have 2 egg cam outputs on it too, because I know that egg cam screens get kind of expensive.
You connect your camera and then you look up at the radio to see your camera.
You can see everything.
Yep. Gotcha. And you guys started this because you're like, hey, I kind of want like a nicer radio in my older tractor.
Yeah, well, so we're young, and that's the thing right now is the CarPlay, listening to your own music, and tried to put other ones in. We tried aftermarket, small radios, anything, and none of them were working out, so we decided we'll try to make our own, and that's what we came up with. And
it's a pretty cool story seeing 2 young guys start up a business like this and get going. And they, like I said, you guys just started a couple months ago. So I'm a fan. I'm a supporter, and we're gonna see how this works.
So here we got our instructions, and then every box we send a sticker with. And then in here is where you have your radio instructions. This is your speaker. This is what we got here for the design. We've packaged it all in there. And then there's the radio, your USB, and then here's your 2 camera inputs. This is the main wiring harness right here that you'll plug into your tractor, and we'll wire all that for you. Here's for your camera, and then this right here is for your antenna to get your AM and FM radio stations back. And then your USB runs in there as well.
So you guys are all assembling this in-house in your guys' shop?
Yeah, we do it all on our own.
He gets home from school, he just
go
goes
out
and
and
starts
start
wiring all
putting
these
them
boxes
together.
up, basically. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So basically this goes in almost 7,000, some sprayers, pretty much all 8,000s, 9,000s. So all of those besides the R's. Once you get to the R's is when you guys are don't have a radio yet for a tractor like that. And is it the same radio? So this radio is going to go in a 94 420.
Yeah,
it's the exact
same.
Okay, because they're the same caps.
Yep.
Okay, I gotcha.
All right, so we'll see how quick they can get this installed here.
Pretty much the hardest part is just trying to hold it up, which it's not really that hard, but this part, this is just the connector that we send with you, and then it's just the antenna. There we go. 1/16" hole saw.
Okay, Thomas has got her installed. Okay, so we got CarPlay going. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
That is nice. That is nice to have it. My voice sounds good.
Yeah, totally normal. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, obviously the engine isn't on, but yeah, it sounds fine.
So we got everything installed here. The amount of settings you have on this is insane. A bunch of display settings, your Wi-Fi settings. We have CarPlay connected. So then if I go over to cameras, we have our camera. This will be our camera access where we can check a couple cameras. Got our radio station if we still want to run radio. And then, okay, Spencer's calling me so I can talk to Spencer. What's up?
Hello. Is it working?
Yep.
Check.
You can go to our podcasts. Got all of our podcasts here, everything like that. Have our messages, phone calls. Have our Google Maps if we want maps. Everything. If you guys want to check this out, your guys' website is CabTech.
CabTechLLC.com.
CabTechLLC.com. They're just getting started. Got started a couple months ago, so we're gonna be using it all season running the tractor, and should be good. Thanks for coming out, making the drive. They had a 4-hour drive to get here. So right now we're getting a week or two of really nice weather here. So we've got some buffer strip CRP that we're gonna start burning, and then this farm here we pattern tiled, and there's some waterway work that needs to be done next week. So we're gonna have a dozer out here cleaning up waterways, just getting kind of everything cleaned up on a lot of farms, ready for planting season is the goal here. So a lot of different random things this video going on. Perfect weather today. 6-mile-an-hour wind coming from the northwest. It's gonna be a perfect burn today, burn this buffer strip. We've got the side-by-side, 2 backpack blowers. I don't have the tractor and disc. There's no way this fire's gonna jump the creek, and the wind's coming from the opposite direction, and then we've got this field all chiseled next to it, so it's not gonna go out in there. Maybe I should have the tractor and disc, but I think we'll be fine.
All right, now we're about 30 minutes into backburning here, and we got this fire set up pretty good. Just had to do a little bit of work to contain it. So the wind that is north, the wind's blowing this way. So cut it off here. Now we got all this burnt fuel that's burnt now, and the fire is back burning to the north. So really what we're doing here, nothing grazes it. We don't mow it. But you can burn it, and essentially it's kind of setting back all the weeds and things you don't want. The idea is to let the grass come up this spring. This stuff will be greening way before anything else. So in about another 15 minutes we will go up a ways, light it, and this is essentially like a backstop. So this is what I mean is backburn. The wind's going this way and it very slowly comes towards us. So
we ended up stopping the burn halfway through as the wind really started picking up. We plan to come back another day when the conditions are better. Now we're back at the same field to fix up some waterways. And it is officially springtime. And so we're on the same field we pattern tiled last fall and spring. And we got Garrett out here, and he's running the dozer. He's cleaning up some of our waterways. We pulled the old disc out using the Milwaukee air compressors. Those come in super handy. Bumping up the tires, and we're gonna just disc ahead of them across the waterways here. So me and Spencer bought this Case 496 disc, probably 2 years ago, and we kind of just keep it around for little handy projects like this. So works pretty good. We really don't use it much at all. We're gonna make sure those wings fold down here. I gotta figure out what hydraulics are. I've got that cranked up a lot. Ah, shoot. That's not good. We have a hose that's leaking, squirting all over the place here. It'll work, but we're gonna lose a lot of hydraulic fluid. All we gotta do is go up the waterways a couple times, try and disc this up. I'll try not to lift and lower it too much. I'm a little hard on the disc right now, but it doesn't have enough weight to get down there, so we're putting all the weight with the wings folded up. It's doing an aggressive job.
So this is the first waterway he's starting on, and this is where we pulled a lot of tile through. This was a pretty good established waterway, but by the time we roughed it up and everything, it's nice that we're gonna come in here with the dozer, smooth it out. And this is Garrett, our neighbor, so he farms too. He's not too far away from us, so works out pretty good. looks pretty good. A lot more smoother. It just got good enough conditions to do this without really mucking everything up, and we'll probably seed it next week here. This is the first waterway we're doing, and then we're probably gonna establish 2 more to the south.
This waterway is extremely rough since we tiled it, so it's a good thing we're kind of smoothing it out, leveling it out here.
All right, the next project we're doing should take just a couple hours. So we're just going along the fence line. There isn't that much stuff here. We'll just put it on the trailer, then pull it off for a pile. So we're just going along it before they get too big. All right, this is the last little bit, and had to do quite a bit of chainsawing down there just to get it perfect. All right, it's a couple days later now, and I got all our hoses replaced here. They're all pretty well shot. So I'm gonna throw these on the disc. Today's super nice, it's like 70. Tomorrow's gonna be 80. So the ground's really starting to dry out. And he's got the big waterway done, so we'll go check that out once we're done here. He's got 2 more to do, so we'll seed that to grass here. These should be good. I did go with the cheaper ones just because these are such long hoses. So hopefully they last a long time. All right, we'll go check on how that waterway looks. So here's the waterway. We're at the top right now that he got done dozing. It's probably about an acre total. And so we'll measure out, make it a certain width, seed it to grass here. We'll hit it with the mulch finisher real quick. That way it just smooths out any level or clumps. It's kind of nice just to do things right and get it right to last a long time. We just want to make sure we get this seeded and get something growing here quick. So all this will be grass here. So then here's what the grass looks like that we burned probably 2 weeks ago now. Gotten a good amount of rain and some snow on it and stuff. So it's already growing back there, and yeah, kind of cool to see. And then this right here will be a waterway, and there's 1 more a bit smaller than this behind me. So we'll have 3 total on this field. All right, now I'm gonna spend the rest of the day cleaning out the shed. So since we're gonna start planting soon, it would be good to just do a spring cleaning in the shed and make sure I know where everything is. And then this corner, we're probably gonna put water storage. So 1 or 2 tanks that hold a bunch of water. So then when you come fill up with your sprayer, you can just pull from there. That's the plan, get all this stuff moved and organized and stacked correctly. We got the tile cart, tile plows over there, just kind of get everything organized where it should be and cleaned up, ready for spring is the goal. First thing, we gotta get all the tractors out of here, get this open, then we'll start organizing. All right, we've made a pretty good dent, kind of organizing, getting things on pallets, and Grant's just pulled in here, and we're getting putting a 500 gallon fuel tank right there in the corner. And this trailer is gonna be new. It's a Mid-Soda that I just bought. Grant just picked it up. How'd it pull?
Super good, yeah. It's super smooth. It's I think 8,000 pounds, but it doesn't feel like much. The only thing is, all of these dovetails, if you get on an extremely rough road, it's not as bad as our tilt deck trailer, but our tilt deck trailer, this is so heavy. If you don't have much weight on the truck, it'll bounce the trailer like a ton, all these like dovetails.
Had them put the traction strips on. I feel like on our tilt deck bumper pull, like in the spring or in the winter time it gets wet. It is really low to the ground, yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising how low the deck is. Like, you just hop up there.
And then it's 12,000 pound axles.
So you hear it lock.
Yeah.
If this is on, that means the truck's charging it. The 7-pin plug's charging it.
And then this has hydraulic beaver tail or the dovetail, and then
Switch
the jacks are hydraulic as well.
So we just switched it to the jack. We bought a 500-gallon fuel barrel. That's what we had at the old farm, so it should work good for us. Small acres, small equipment. We'll probably just put it inside the shed or just right on the outside there.
So I've been wanting to buy a gooseneck deck over trailer for a while. Right now we have a bumper pull that Grant bought when he first started farming back in like 2020. Seems like a lot of times we can't fit things on the bumper pull trailer because there's fenders. So this is a deck over, you know, just a flatbed trailer, whatever you want to call it. This will be handy from moving a fuel tank to hauling hay to hauling, if like Grant's 4020, all of our skid steers, mini excavators, or any tractor that can't fit in the fenders. The main reason why I got the hydraulic dovetail was mainly for the hydraulic jacks. I feel like that's a lot more valuable than even the dovetail versus ramps. There's toolbox in the front, and then I had them put 2 toolboxes on the side here. So one will probably be binders, the other one, yeah, straps or something. There's a receiver, so if you want to put a jack or a winch on it, winch cars up, spare tire. I'm gonna try and keep it out of the salt the best I can. Our Grant's bumper pull trailer seemed like after year 2 the paint was flaking off. We'll try and take a little better care of it. All right, we don't have a chain. This is... Where is it, Abby?
Right there, push it out.
Go ahead. Yep. All right, we're gonna test out the dovetail. I've never used a trailer that has like a hydraulic one. We got the traction strips, because when these rubber tracks get wet, doesn't seem too steep. I think it's a little steeper than our bumper pull, and then you have this hinge point here. That's pretty smooth.
Okay, so me and Spencer got the shed open. I should say that was mainly Spencer. He did 75% of that work at least there. Everything's ready. 8R is still sitting at a field to, we got to finish up some waterways quick with that. So that's sitting there, but everything's all clean in the shed. And honestly, next week, there's a chance, I'm trying to get some early beans out. So there's a chance, very slim chance we may throw out some beans next week, early next week. Tomorrow's supposed to be 90 degrees, and then it's supposed to get, it's supposed to cool down a little bit, but if the fields are dry, soil conditions are good, I think we might throw in like an 80 or 160 and knock that out early. So we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys.